work and reporting Coworker for stealing it? For the past 2 months, I have been cooking meals at home and taking my lunch to work. I work in an office where we all have our own cubicles that the layout is large enough to be considered an office. In the past 2 weeks, someone kept stealing my lunch, even though I had my name X'd on it, and went as far as to wash out the containers and leave a thank you note. I wrote an office email because I didn't know who it was, asking them not to steal my lunch, but it did not work. So I saw a couple of my colleagues coming in with a large lunch pail and leaving it in their cubicle. When I asked one of them, she said that's how you get to keep your lunch because the lunch pirates will steal your food otherwise. So I did the same thing. I bought a large lunch pail and like 6 of those blue ice things that keeps food cold, and now keep my food in my cubicle on a 3 millions hanger under my office sweater. So an hour ago, I went to lunch and heated up my food and sat down to eat. This coworker, we don't work in the same depth, so I don't really know her, asked me if I came in late. I said no, why? She said because my lunch was not in the fridge. I said it's because I keep it in my cubicle now because I'm tired of people stealing my food. The microwave pings and I get my food out and proceed to eat. She put a styrofoam plate next to me and I'm like looking at her. She says, well, you can split your lunch with me because I don't have any. I looked her dead in the face and asked her if she was the one stealing my lunch. She said she didn't. Steal, she borrowed. I said, borrowed? So when are you going to pay me back? I'm not welfare, you didn't bring your lunch. We are literally in the middle of downtown. You can literally throw a pebble and hit an eatery. I work just like you, and if you didn't bring your food, you better go buy some because I am not sharing, period. I closed my food containers and was making my way back to my cubicle to report her to HR. She called me selfish. I told her she was an entitled thief, and I would be letting everyone know. So I reported her to HR, my manager, and her manager. I got 2 emails from people IDK saying I should not have reported her because I don't know her situation. I emailed them back and told them they, nor her, know my situation, which is pretty good, but that's not the point. And anyone who is wearing Tom Ford pumps should literally not be stealing anyone's food. So AITA for reporting her and not wanting to share, and AITA for keeping my food in my cubicle. Update. So she tried to deny that she admitted to it, but I named people who were around when she said it, and they were spoken to and confirmed what she said. They had me produce receipts. I had them on my phone, thanks Instacart and Walmart, etc. And they said they will reimburse me what I'm owed and deduct from her pay. She was terminated, and the other 2 people who emailed me, I was told by a coworker who knows them they got a write-up.
So what are people saying?
Top comment. NTA might want to get a lockable lunch box though since you told her where you keep your lunch.
Comment 2. NTA. Expecting someone to let you steal their lunch is deranged. And like she thought leaving a thank you note after taking it made it better, I'd be concerned if she isn't fired.
Comment 3. NTA. While it's true that you don't know her situation, you are not obligated to do anything for someone, especially when they just take and don't ask. She stole from you and then expected you to just knuckle under somehow. It's now HR's job to get to the bottom of the situation. In the meantime, enjoy your lunch.
Comment for NTA. That thank you note was unhinged. If she really is that hard up, the people emailing you can help her out. And there are always food banks. She sounds like the type of person who wouldn't be willing to put in the effort for the food bank.
Comment 6. Her stealing should be a red flag for anybody, including an employer. She's gross.
Bonus story from the comments section.
Take the time to educate yourself on your country's laws about food theft in the workplace. While I am Australian, my company has 0 tolerance for food theft, and we follow the laws about food tampering. There are unknown laws about quality protection for those with specific dietary requirements and obligations. In my workplace, there are 5 people with food allergies, 3 who have specific dietary requirements, and 2 who have religious-based food requirements. We decided that it was a 1-warning sackable offense to either eat or tamper with other people's food and food containers. In 15 years, we have fired under this clause. 2 deliberately tampered with high-risk allergy person's food, 1 being myself, their boss, and the 3rd ate another person's food, the head receptionist. They all tried to make lawsuits, but but our employment contract has a section where you must watch a 5-minute video and then read aloud the food tampering and theft clause before signing that they were well informed about the punishment if they break it. You could try and ask your HR and other workers to probably do up something similar, but in many cases, people often quote food tampering laws to their HR and giving the information over to get anywhere. A business that doesn't care about your right to have your personal lunch kept safe from theft or tampering is a company that will more often than not give you the boot even if you give 300%.
Response to initial story. Absolutely. It's essential to know your rights when it comes to food theft at work. Your company's zero tolerance policy for food tampering is a great example of how serious this issue can be, especially for people with dietary restrictions or allergies. It's impressive that your workplace has a clear policy and even educates employees about the consequences.
Originally, it was a mistake situation. 2 colleagues had the same containers, but one had a food allergy, and their lunch was similar to the other colleague without the food allergy. The non-allergic person didn't know until the allergy person had a reaction. They both did not realize that they accidentally got each other's food. When the HR/colleague was sorting it out, she had worried that it could happen deliberately, so she came to myself and the other co-owner/boss and showed our country's laws about food tampering. After that, we had no problems with mix-ups until the 3 who deliberately did so. One had put a tomato on top of my food container, as a prank. I am deathly allergic to raw tomatoes. The second swapped a Crohn's colleague food with food that would put them in hospital. The third was a new hire who we later found out was a serial food thief. They took home the birthday cake of one of the receptionists. The first 2 were reported to police, and the third we got them to sign a termination agreement that if they use us as a reference, when we tell the truth of their termination, they couldn't claim slander, like he threatened previous employers. Australia is a bit different, but I have heard a few idiots in main character mode have been visited by the FAFO fairy because in certain buildings, you are not allowed to record unless you have the right paperwork. I think the worst I know of is of the 40-year-old man, caught filming an underage girl at a Metalfist concert, and he was thrown into the pit and stomped. But it has never been legally confirmed. However, there was a brief note that a 40-plus-year-old man mistakenly trapped in a pit, and suffered a few broken ribs.
This is Petty Honest signing off for now. Meow. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to leave your honest thoughts in the comment section below. We love a good juicy thought.